toiling for 40 hours per week for 6 months. You might be sprinting full speed, or you might be lifting heavy weights, but whatever you're doing your maximum capacity. All this work and energy that you put in over the 6 months is simply equivalent to the energy in just 1 gallon of oil. So that's how much energy oil has. So because of its high energy content, oil is used from everything from transportation to growing food. However, sadly, oil is a finite resource, and it's eventually going to run out. So the issue Peak Oil covers why oil will run out and the various consequences we will face when it starts to run out, such as famine and high inflation. Alright, so first, why is oil finite and why is it called a fossil fuel? Well, it was starting to be formed around 60 million years ago when fossils were actually living dinosaurs. So the trees from the dinosaur period were compressed after the volcanoes exploded. They buried the trees, and after 60 million years of compression, the trees started to transform into oil. And so, since oil comes from the trees of just one time period, it's a finite resource and will eventually run out. And Peak Oil covers that. So now, before I start to talk to you about what we'll face when it starts to run out, I'm just going to show you two graphs that talk about the supply and demand for oil. So human population has been increasing since the beginning of time, basically. It's been going up exponentially, just it's like a curve, basically. And so to meet up with this rise in the growing population of human, the oil production also has to increase exponentially because the demand for oil is increasing. And so oil production is increasing along with that. But then eventually, since oil is finite, oil production will start to decrease. And so that's where the problem comes. Because the demand is going to constantly be increasing, humans are increasing, but the supply for oil will start decreasing. And this will, after 2020, start to cause oil prices to just completely rocket. And so I'm not too scared about not having enough oil for my car or something because I live nearby. But what the really scary fact though is that for every 1 calorie of food produced, 10 calories of fossil fuels have to be burned. So you can only imagine what would happen if the prices of oil start to increase. Food prices would increase like anything, and we could face famine and lots of inflation. Alright, so now that I've scared you all, I think it's only fair that I talk about some of the ways that we can solve this problem. The first way is the basic idea of solving this problem is to reduce our oil consumption. And we can do this by, first of all, investing in alternative energy resources, such as solar energy, wind energy, nuclear energy, etc. But also, I think we as a whole can make a big difference just by conserving energy in our daily lives. For example, if you leave a room, you can just shut the lights off. Or something even easier for your washing machine, when you wash your clothes, just with the click of a button, if you change the water setting from warm to cold, you save 90% of the energy just right there with one click of a button. So that's really nice. Alright, so now let's just kind of step back, and I'm going to give you an idea of what would happen if we don't do anything to solve this issue. So there would be, as I mentioned before, famine and high inflation. So millions of people could be dying, they'd be rioting in the streets, the world would be just complete chaos. We wouldn't be able to use cars or planes, and no trips to France for Jerome. And so it'd just be a really bad situation. So I think we, as a whole, need to make a difference. We need to conserve energy, or we'll be sucked into the black hole that we created. Thank you.